Hello again. Pastor Tim here, and I want to welcome you to the first of this week's round of Flock Talks. You know, we've been talking about current events as it seems that, at least in our nation, life just continues to devolve into chaos and confusion with each passing day. Now, while that should not be surprising to those of us genuinely devoted to Jesus, the focus of our attention really shouldn't be on when these things will come to an end, but what they mean, especially as it relates to the return of Jesus. You see, Jesus made it clear that when he returns is not the question for us, but more importantly, the question is why is he coming back, and what does that really mean for us? So, first of all, why is Jesus coming back? As Jesus prepared to go to the cross, he comforted his immediate disciples and told them this: "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am." You see, what Jesus says to them would have been right in line with what a man would have said to his fiancée in that day as they were betrothed, or we would say engaged. So Jesus assured his people that he was devoted to them and would return for them as a groom would return for his bride. Devoted followers of Jesus, then, should have no questions as to whether or not Jesus is coming back, but in fact, should be preparing for his return. But why wouldn't Jesus just tell us when he was coming back and simply move his plan along toward that point? Well, the answer to that question is pretty complex, but is very important for us to wrestle with if we're going to be preparing. And it has to do with the point of his patience regarding his return and the problem his people will face in the interim. First of all, the point of putting off his return as long as possible is really the love that he has for the world. And Peter made it clear when he wrote, "The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness. Instead, he's patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance." You see, Jesus didn't come to condemn the world, but that through him people would be delivered from the coming judgment. And with current events, you can see how and why judgment is not only coming, but well-deserved. But that brings us to the problem that we face today. Jesus implied that the longer he waits, the more even his people would be inclined to fall away and lose hope. He explained to his disciples that in the end, the love of many would grow cold, and so his people were to be like those who manage businesses in the absence of the business owner. Instead of discarding responsibility and accountability, they were to keep doing what they were told until he comes. So as you can see, in our nation today, it appears that the Lord might be testing his people to determine who those people actually are. I think the question for us today is personal and then moves out into our communities. And the questions are like this: are you one of those preparing for the return of Jesus? What is the object of your hope today? Is it a new political leader? A new form of government? Social justice? Or is your hope in the return of the King and the renewal of all things that he'll bring with him? It's a great question for us to be considering daily. May we be those who are committing ourselves to the love of God and to the love of those around us and to the hope of his coming. God bless you. I can't wait to follow up on this.